Hi, welcome to Conversations with the ERC5. My name is Grace Speroni. I am the Executive Director, and with me here today, I have Scott Weiss with K Journals. Scott, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you with us because I am a big believer in K Journals. We had coffee and you shared with me what you were doing. So would you like to share with our viewers what led you to K Journal, your journey there?
Absolutely. Starting K Journal was something that I never really anticipated. It kind of came at a time in my life when I was feeling a little lost and really in need of direction. I had just taken care of my mother who had Alzheimer's for 6 years, and we really went through just a tremendous journey. And so at the end of that journey, I was really looking for something and not really knowing where to find it. I was looking to go into journaling, but I was a little frustrated with every time that I opened up a journal. It would be super inspirational on the outside, but then blank on the inside. And so I was really looking for some direction for myself, of something to follow and something to just give myself some prompts. And so I just started writing some different things down that were important to me, and figuring out what was going to make a successful week, and then some activities that I was going to then do to then facilitate those goals. And then I slowly started adding in, things that I was proud of, and just reflecting on how the week went. And then all of a sudden I turned a weekly accountability worksheet into a high performance journal. And so it's really been a tremendous journey, but one that I'm really grateful for, because there's just so much power in journaling and figuring some things out for yourself that it's provided, and it continues to provide.
I am so grateful that you shared the K Journal with me, because I think it's fantastic. And like you, I always thought journaling was great. I want to do it. And you buy the beautiful books, and then you get inside and it's like, I don't know what to do. What do I write?
Do with the information?
Yeah, what's the point of this? And so I jump into it, and then it would just go by the side. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing about the K Journal, and like you said, is that there's actually a reason for this. And there's prompts to help me find that. Because when I was talking to you, I had just started a whole new career path in chamber world, and I was just trying to find my direction. And I found that reflecting back and picking up my journal and just getting in there was wonderful.
It really does provide so many great benefits, because a lot of people are frustrated with at work. Maybe there's something at home that they're not really feeling inspired by, or just about themselves that they want to make a change. But oftentimes, we think about making these changes, and more than likely they've set a goal that is potentially out of reach. And it's just, it can become overwhelming as to, well, how do I do all of that? Or how do I figure that out? And so when you keep everything in your head, it becomes confusing. It leads to anxiety about this goal that you just set. And maybe you have anxiety already. And journaling is just a wonderful tool to be able to process your thoughts, to be able to put things down and then figure them out for yourselves. But again, most people get really frustrated with the fact that most journals are just blank and they don't really provide any direction. And so for myself, it was a great tool to just, give myself that direction and understand what I was going after. And then, well, how did I do? It's nice to have both a forward mindfulness thought, but then also a reflective piece on the end to understand, well, how am I doing? How is it going? Do I want to make a change? Is this the path that I want to be on?
Right.
And so it's really great for a number of different tools, whether it's just your personal life, your work life, it's life. And so it's how do you put all of that together and make it, meaningful and purposeful for yourself?
It helps you find direction.
100%.
It helps you kind of, am I headed in the right path? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. And then as I was looking, you're also a corporate facilitator. And I thought to myself, you know what? That does kind of go hand in hand with what the journal is doing. And in today's market, right, staffing, keeping employees, all of that is so important. And I can see how this is a great tie-in to that.
100%. On the corporate side, we really focus on the skill sets that will allow you to really be able to kind of process all of this information and do things with it. So it's great to be able to go into any organization and just give back to employees. I mean, most employees right now, I think there's statistics out there that there's over 60% of folks are disengaged at work, and rightfully so, right? We had a huge stress that came through all of our lives with COVID, and you know, we were forced to work from home when we've never worked from home before, and all of a sudden, you know, maybe we've got kids and a spouse or a partner, you know, and it's just like, this is way too much. How do I handle all of this? And then that passes, and now you have to go back to work, and well, maybe you got comfortable being at home, and now you have that stress, and it's just, how do you deal with this? How do you process all of that information? But even more on the corporate side, as well as just the personal side, journaling is just a wonderful tool for self-care. And that's a big buzzword right now. Everyone's talking about self-care, and self-care is wonderful, and massages are great, and all of these different things that are out there for us to really take care of ourselves. But at the heart of self-care is understanding what you need and what's best for you. And journaling allows you to take time to understand what you need, what's best for you, and then how are you then going to schedule that into your world so that you can then actually achieve it. And that's really where the tool in the journal really allows for all of that execution, for that follow through for people, so that they can, you know, take these ideas and these concepts and then put them into practical use for themselves, which has been great.
Well, and I would think if you find that inner peace, self-care is a wonderful thing, because I'm finding if you feel good on the inside, then it reflects on the outside. So if you're feeling good about the direction you're headed, you give your best at work. So it's beneficial on both levels. It
really, you know, it creates happier, more productive employees when employees, you know, understand that, you know, a corporation maybe has brought this in and really cares about you as an individual now, instead of just, you know, be better at your job. And so while all of that is great, it really is a tremendous tool to then say, we want you to be the best version of you, knowing that you're going to then come back into work and be the best version of yourself at work. And so it really, it's very, very powerful for people. But the act of taking care of yourself is hard, right? Like, we all go through different places, and some of the things that I have in the journal were designed for just myself, really. I go through different bouts of depression at times, or have anxiety, and at times my depression could have lasted a week or 2 weeks, because I would just wallow in this place that just really wasn't healthy and good for myself, but I didn't know how to get out of it. But now I have a historical thing in my journal where I can turn to the things that I wrote down, or somebody maybe said, you know, they were proud of, or thank you for this, and I write those things down of, you know, what were my wins for the week, and then I can go back through that when I'm not feeling good, or I'm not in a great place, and be able to help move myself out of that space a little bit better, which is really, for me, it's been just tremendous.
Well, it feels to me, when you write it down, it's like you set it free. You're not holding it inside. It's not, you know, in your head and spinning around and not going anywhere. You put it down on paper, and then you also look at it, and it's like, hey, that's not so bad. How blessed am I? And this is what I have. And now that you put it down there, you can set it free. It goes, and you're done with it. 100%.
Not only can you just set it free, but then you can also look at it and realize, well, you know, it's not as bad or as big as I thought it was. You get this understanding and this idea that, okay, this is just that information, and now how do I deal with it? What do I do with it? And you really then start to understand that, yeah, it's sometimes not as overwhelming as we can make it up in our mind, because quite frankly, you know, we can make things a lot bigger than they actually are by letting our imagination just run with it. And when you see things black and white, you really get a great understanding of where it is, and then, okay, how do we process and deal with it?
Yeah. And it's a matter of making it a daily, I think it should be a daily habit. It doesn't have to be, but you know what I find? If I do it in the evening and I put all of my thoughts down there, I can let go of things. I have a better night's sleep. I just feel better in the morning. It just feels good to know that, you know, I've put my thoughts out there. This is what I wanted to accomplish. Maybe I didn't, but I can work on that. Those are goals for the future. It just, again, is a nice place to put everything. And I like doing it at the end of the day. I'm sure it doesn't have to be there, but if we all find that time to devote to doing it, it's a great little self-care item. And we're better for it. It is fantastic. I have it set up where you should spend some time every week just understanding what's going to be a successful week and then planning that out. And then again, on a daily basis, what are the top priorities for the next day? Get them off your head, understand what your plan of attack is, and then each day with gratitude and defining some small, things that you're truly grateful for, again, allows you to understand that the big things aren't as big as they are when you're just focused on some of the small stuff. So it really is a great way to start your day with, all of that process, again, so that you can just maximize your time. You can be most efficient, which is great. So I have to ask you. Yeah. K Journal, wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. But I think there's some new things in your future. Can you share with us what the future looks like for Scott? Where are you going with this? Yeah, absolutely. It's been great, and I have a corporate program that's designed and utilizes the journal. But just recently partnered with 2 other individuals, and we came out with the human wellness experience. And so we really are looking at the trifecta of best self, which is really managing your time and your productivity, understanding and managing your stress and your grief and all of the things that come with it, and then finally managing, your overall health and what you're doing for exercise, things of that nature. And so it's been great to partner up with Leanne and Lisa, who are just passionate and just really amazing individuals as well, and to be able to then just put a better product together for corporations and individuals, where we can really just go in and now give employees, again, just the best way to take care of themselves and focus on who they are and the best person that they want to be, and then version of us, for sure. That's fantastic. Yeah. So Scott, thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you so much for having me. Would you just share with our viewers, what is the best way to get in touch with you, K Journal? Yeah, the K Journal website is just www.kjournal.com, or the Human Wellness Experience. You can reach us if you're interested in something like that with just the humanwellnessx.com. And so you can find us on either of those 2 platforms. And, really, anytime I'm able to talk to individuals and help them through a process or expose them to some journaling, I love it. So. Wonderful. Wish you continued success, and I look forward to our next conversation when you can share more with us about this new venture that you have launched. Excellent. Thanks so much for having me, Grace. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us for this podcast today. For more information, go to our website at ERC5.com or check us out on our social media platforms.